Art, the expression or application of human creative skill and imagination, typically in a visual form, such as painting or sculptures, producing works to be appreciated primarily for their beauty or emotional power. Humans are exceedingly good at creating things. Whether they sculpt structures out of their bare hands, mix different ingredients to whip up a yummy dish, patiently stitch their way around a mannequin, combine wonderful words to string together sentences of a story, or sketch thousands upon thousands of drawings to make a moving animation with a mere pencil and paper. The list goes on and on. You could probably name at least 10 more things which weren't on this list. There are so many forms of expression, many of which we are very well aware of, and yet, there seems to be a conflict between people who think AI is good and can create art, and people who think AI is bad and should not create art. As a self-taught artist, I have my own opinion as well as a solution to AI generative images. More on that later. So, what even is AI? The theory and development of computer systems able to perform tasks normally requiring human intelligence, such as visual perception, speech recognition, decision-making, and translation between languages. It's in the name, artificial. Now, do you remember the definition of art?
I think it's when somebody draws at stuff.
No, it's like when you make things, I think.
I don't know.
The key word from the definition of art is human. Sure, AI generates a bunch of pictures which some people call art, but do they even have any knowledge on what art is? The meaning, the soul, the reason? AI works by taking a bunch of images that already exist somewhere on the internet. Otherwise, they are directly fed images. Note that it is not just one image, and they end up with a generated thingamabob to spit out at us. AI is not creating anything here. It took some images from online, merged them together according to whatever the prompt was, and essentially made a patchwork quilt of something to vaguely represent whatever the AI prompter requested. Bear in mind though, a real patchwork quilt usually takes months on end to create, whether you use a sewing machine or stitch by hand, and a whole bunch of skill, patience, some plasters too if your hands are a little bit shaky. Drawing from personal experiences here. Now, AI is being used by some people as an assistant, as a tool. And no, AI is not a tool for art. Some people use AI in their everyday lives. Self-service machines, Google Maps, social media, smartphones, banking machines. It's everywhere. In instances such as these, AI is considered to be helpful, making our lives a little more efficient. Google Maps is a useful tool to use when we need to go somewhere new. But that doesn't stop some people from using TomToms or a thick book labeled Maps. Self-service machines use algorithms to detect if customers place an item down, or if they are trying to scan multiple of the same item. But again, that doesn't stop some people choosing to go to a human cashier. Some of us need the cashier job to be able to keep going in life, and no one should be shamed for that or lose their job because they were replaced by a robot. Plus, some of us genuinely enjoy human interaction. Smartphones also have multiple algorithms and use patterns to detect when we go to sleep to monitor our health, brighten the screen when we're outside and it's sunny, use facial recognition or fingerprint detectors to unlock the device. Again, these modern smartphones don't stop some people from using those cute flip phones we used to have back in the 2000s, or even the classic Nokia brick, which only had a snake game and was indestructible by anything. Have you seen the hydraulic press against a Nokia phone? Just a joke of course, but seriously, those things rarely needed a charge and lasted forever. Anyway, AI should be just that, an assistant for us where they are integrated in our lives, not outright replacing us. Why can't AI do the mundane jobs, the heavy lifting, the jobs with intense labor and harsh working conditions, the work placements where people risk their lives just to make minimum wage to feed their families, whilst humans get to create things they are passionate about? No AI should be trained to generate images. If we need a visual reference of something like a white tiger or what a Victoria sponge cake looks like, then it should show us an image taken by a human of their lovely cheesecake or the crochet cosplay they made in under 100 hours. That's it! AI doesn't even need to do art. They are better off completing mundane tasks with repetitive patterns. Robots were made to prevent humans from doing strenuous and dangerous jobs. AI was simply made to understand how a machine can learn language and solve problems, leaving the humans to create. We humans are very capable of it because we have lived through unique experiences which an AI robot cannot. And think about it. Why do humans create art anyway? Creating art not only stimulates our brains, it helps us cope with feelings. It lets us show the world something we cannot use words to express. It allows us to be human. We take our experiences, our ideas and imagination, our inspiration and determination, and craft it into a reality. The Italian sculptor who made flesh and transparent cloth look real out of marble, he turned it into a reality. The game developer who made a massive game about farming, with free updates and hand-drawn pixel art, each and every music track and lines of code made entirely by him, he turned it into a reality. The dude who had a vision for creating two of the best films some people have ever seen in their lives, one about a dream within a dream within a dream, and the other about love, an emotion that can transcend through the dimensions of space and time, he turned it into a reality. The mysterious author who wrote one of the most heart-wrenching stories about a girl who behaves like a robot, has her arms ripped off from trying to defend someone, and eventually learns how to write beautiful letters for her clients. She turned it into a reality. The 29-year-old artist who sadly passed away due to cancer, she created mystical pieces of art, hundreds of magical drawings, evoking emotions in many. Despite all her struggles to go on, she was a role model for so many young artists, including myself. She turned it into a reality. The wonderful content creator on YouTube who paints on squishies, creates baked goods and has so many series of painting on things, who has a little dino as the mascot of her channel whilst protecting the privacy of her two little girls. She turned it into a reality. We create art because we have imagination. We have all these ideas floating around in our heads. We get inspired by nature or develop a certain love for certain things and insert them into our work, with meaning, with passion, with intention, even if we don't realize it. And just so you know, not all human art is good. Take the anime about a guy who can destroy everything with a single punch. Loved by millions and an inspiration to striving artists, this piece of work has a history worth reading through. Seriously, go and read about it. Anyway, art is created with meaning and purpose. Humans create from lived experiences, from trauma, from happy memories, from struggles they face, to moments of overcoming something. Humans have the passion and the drive, the patience and the resilience, the discipline and the eagerness to learn how to lock in and spend years of their life honing their skills. In the words of Bruce Lee, I fear not the man who has practiced 10,000 kicks once, but I fear the man who has practiced one kick 10,000 times. Sure, AI generates a million, bazillion, gazillion images, but it can't create anything new like a human can. It can only generate based on what already exists. The key word being generate. AI doesn't even know what it's saying half the time, and pretends to know what it's doing. Kind of like a stuck-up human who is pretty big-headed. To all the dum-dums who say AI is faster and better and that AI can make art, first of all, no. And second of all, here is my solution to all of this. So, is AI bad? The people who choose to abuse it are what makes it bad. They simply don't understand just how damaging it has been for so many people, regardless of if they are artists or not. The environmental impacts with the huge data centers consuming water and space, the replacement of humans who have been working loyally for years in an industry, the AI psychosis situation, where people form relationships with AI chatbots. The world is currently in the biggest loneliness epidemic. What happened to making real connections with humans, with pets that people enjoy caring for? What happened to forming bonds with hobbies that keep our minds active, like making music, dancing, gardening, reading, or singing? So much can be expressed through words. The godfather of AI explained that when humans communicate, they are limited to the amount of information in a sentence, compared to an AI which can send trillions of data without sentences. Excuse me, but what about when someone you love gives you a big hug? What about that look someone can give you when they know something is wrong? Or the face a child makes when they have missed seeing you? Humans are not limited to sentences. That's the beauty of humans. We express in so many different ways, sentences being a wonderful formation of words, but sometimes all we really need is one glance in the eye, one touch on our shoulder, one squeeze in a loved one's embrace. Yes, AI is a problem right now for many of us. All of us really. Artists don't want their work to be stolen. They made it. Hearing people say that those who type up prompts are artists are not. Just because someone orders a pizza at a restaurant with very specific requests and details about each and every topping they want on a pizza, all of this ordering does not make that person the one who made the pizza. They are just ordering. The dude in the back punching the dough is making the pizza. He's the artist. With all this said, art is a power, a weapon of sorts. It can never be taken from us, from all of us who create. Even if everything were to be taken away from us, humans would still find a way to express themselves, be it with words, paintings, dancing, singing, heck, even their own blood. We have lived through lives which no robot ever could, and we feel emotions which no AI could ever replicate. So, we should choose to continue to express ourselves creatively, to have a safe space where we can relate and understand each other's trauma, each other's passions. We should use all that imagination within us to craft our form of art. Because at the end of the day, humans were born to create. No, wait! Don't leave.